Hello travelers, this video will recap Skirk's story quest in 15 minutes. The quest starts with the traveler and Payman visiting Bubu Pharmacy for a consultation with Beiju, as the former feels unwell. But after observation, Beiju finds nothing unusual and suggests that the traveler to get some rest. While sleeping, the traveler found themselves inside an Absol realm with thick fog around the area. Then, an Absol entity emerges and stabs the traveler in the back. But after waking up, they found themselves unharmed despite the injury feeling so real. Seeing the traveler look so worried, Payman decides to bring them to Wanman restaurant to cheer them up. At the restaurant, while traveler is explaining the dream to Payman, a mysterious woman appears next to them and orders a wine. Skirk, also recognized as Tartaglia's master, asked about the dream and mentioned how a part of the traveler's soul is damaged and has traces of Absol corrosion. Skirk offers her help, and travelers reluctantly accepts after some consideration. Once she leaves, the duo pay for Skirk's wine, but Chef Mao and other customers does not. Remember seeing another lady on their table. Meeting Skirk at Gilly Plains, they noticed many rift hounds collecting god remains within the earths. Skirk says that a possible god-level entity has been stealing sources of power from all over the world, including the Stella Fortuna. The same entity might also be the one responsible for stealing Traveler's soul. Skirk offers to help recovering the soul, but only if the duo helps her in uncovering the entity's identity. As the first step, Skirk provides a dream mirroring item so she can see the Absol Rolmeef Traveler dream about it again. Next, she prepares a special training in her home. After mentioning that the time here works differently, Skirk tells them that she'll be training them on 3 subjects: blade work, elemental skills and reasoning. After the first training session, Skirk tells them to sleep and they enter a dream. However, it wasn't their dreams, it was Skirk's. Upon encountering a strange entity and follow it, they saw various fragments of Skirk's childhood. Skirk was interested with the outside world after a merchant ship arrived on their planet, and went out to gaze at the stars. However, when she returns to her home after exploring, she finds her village in flame and attacked by the people from the merchant ship, calling the villagers as savages. When Skirk rushed to her parents, they told her to run and not trust anyone as the soldiers arrived and killed them. As they wake up, Skirk starts the second part of their training. Before starting the training, Skirk mentions how she disguises her powers as cryo despite using Absol powers, due to the laws in Teyvat. Once the second training finishes and traveler go to rest, they enter another dream. This time, they come upon memories of Skirk being trained by her master Sertologi, who saw potential in her growth. The last training is to focus on how to react under pressure. Skirk tell them to free themselves from the influence of emotion, and only then can they make the right choices reasoning. The travelers successfully completed the training and after resting, they're back to Skirk's inner world. They navigates the area and encounters more of Skirk's memories, such as training with other disciples and entering Teyvat with Alice's help. After the dream is over, Skirk tell them that the training has ended and she has found the entity's location. Before they head out, she offers to answer 3 questions, much like did with Tartaglia. For the first question, Traveler asks if she was from Teyvat, and confess that they saw her memories in their sleep, possibly due to the side effect of the dream mirroring. After asking Traveler to keep it a secret, Skirk confirms that she is from the outside, but is not a descender, she is just a visitor passing by. The second question is about the reason she came to Teyvat. Skirk replies that she did so to become stronger, as in order to surpass her master, she had to figure out where his strength came from. For the last question, they ask about Tartaglia, and how he's been searching after her for a long time. Skirk explains that she wants Tartaglia to reach his full potentials in his own right, rather than following hers. Only after that will she allow the both of them to see each other again. The traveler feels that Skirk was hiding something from them, but since their 3 questions were spent, decide not to press further. Leaving Skirk's home, the trio head to the culprit's location, hidden in the chasm. As they enter the domain, they are attacked by monsters before reaching its end, where the culprit attacks them. During the battle, Skirk notices that the attacks were focused on her before one of the spikes impales her shoulder. Pulling it out, she crushes it and extracts the stolen soul fragment, returning it to the traveler.
先ほどから狙いは私のようだ。私に届くとでも？いや、まさか。大丈夫？今のは一体？取り返してやった。もう奪われるな。
Skirk tells them that she now knew why the culprit targeted them. Traveler's ability to purify Absol energy was significant, and the entity used it in order to steal her power. Though some of her power is indeed stolen, she ignores it and focuses on asking the entity on how they got the power of the Devouring Narwhal, knowing their capability is not enough to battle it. She then realizes that the entity must know Sertologi and calls him by his title, the Foul, angering the entity. The entity prepares to attack, but noticing Skirk's injury and Payman's inability to defend herself, the traveler suggests retreating, which Skirk accepts and they all escape. Returning to Bubu's pharmacy, traveler takes a well-deserved rest and Skirk meditates to restore her power. After 2 days of meditation, the strange creature appears on Segan in the real world, and bring travelers to Skirk's inner world. Inside the dream, Skirk's world resembles a broken river. The creature explains that the river represented Skirk's strength, and it was severed multiple times as she disliked who she was in the past. As they head upstream, the traveler relives Skirk's memories, such as her arrival on Tavit, her motives to surpass her master, the reasons Sertologi saves her, and what happened to the people on her planet. When they finally reach Skirk, the creature reveals itself to be Skirk's suppressed emotions. The creature explains that Skirk's recovery takes longer than usual because she had forgotten her original motivation to become stronger by severing her emotions. Once severing her connection to who she used to be, Skirk can no longer draw strength from her past, and can only depend on fear and survivor's guilt, which can only take her so far. Skirk still dismisses her emotion and considered it as weak, but the traveler interjects and states that its ability to break free from her attempts and confront her was a sign of its strength. In the end, Skirk accepts her emotions and the traveler promises to assist her in her fight against Sertologi when the time came.
Skirk! 一人もいかんだ！
助けて。
俺の言葉を忘れるな、スカーク。この恐怖、心に刻め。
どうしてあなただけが生き残ったの？勇敢で どんな困難にもくじけない人になれたかしら。
ほら、まだゴールじゃないでしょ。命は輝くべきもの。暗闇に押しつぶされちゃいけない。
Returning to reality, Payman brings some snacks for them to eat before they head back to the Absol space to confront the culprit. The trio venture back into the Absol space and discover that the fog in the area had dissipated. In addition, they are immediately confronted by the entity, who had taken on the form of the Dark Shadow. During the battle with the entity, Skirk purposely injures herself so it could absorb her power. This results in the entity's armor shattering, revealing a man inside it.
またあの技、気をつけて。
まだ私の力を狙うか。その体、この力に耐えられるか。
Retaining his sanity, the entity introduces himself Skofnungr, a friend and follower of Sertologi. He explains his history with Sertologi, and how the latter had cured his disease with a forbidden knowledge. Following the apocalypse and Ranava's curse of immortality on the Kenria people, Sertologi met with Skofnungr one last time to let him know that he was leaving and would probably not be back for a long time. Before leaving Teyvat, Sertologi offered to remove the curse from him, but Skofnungr declined, wishing to become stronger. Acknowledging his wish, Sertologi left him a weakened narwhal in the primordial sea. Skofnungr then grafted some of the narwhal's flesh into his heart, enabling him to change into Dark Shadow. After finishing his story, Skofnungr coughs and claims that the powers he absorbed still caused him pain in spite of the immortality curse. He asks Skirk to end his life before he completely loses sanity, but Skirk offers an alternative, which is destroying his consciousness, along with all the powers he had consumed. With the powers gone, his body will regenerate due to the curse of the immortality. He accepts the offer, hoping that he could awaken in time to see the battle between Skirk and Sertologi. Now that everything is over, they leave the Absol space and return to Teyvat. Now that her power is no longer separated by her emotions, she need time to practice and prepare to leave. The traveler asks if they'll meet again, which she remarks that only fate can decide. Payman then suggests camping on the spot to stargaze before the quest ends. That's the end of the quest and this recap. Thank you for watching.